prayers are come my sin, and stand in need of pardon. I have heard thy holy word, but with such deadness of spirit that I have been an unprofitable and forgetful hearer. Let me live according to those holy rules which thou hast this day, according to those holy rules which thou hast this day prescribed in thy holy word. Direct me to the true object, Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life. Bless, O Lord, all the people of this land. That's George Washington's prayer book. Here's a quote from Thomas Jefferson, as we know, who wrote basically the Declaration of Independence at the urging of John Adams. And it was Jefferson who was the third president after John Adams. Jefferson in 1782. And for those who visit Washington, this is inscribed inside the Jefferson Memorial. Jefferson said, "Can the liberties of a nation be thought secure when we have removed their only firm basis, a conviction in the minds of people that their liberties are the gift of God?" Jebediah Morse, who is called the father of American geography, also father of Samuel Morse. Folks who know history know who that is. On April 25th, 1799, Jebediah Morse said, "Whenever the pillars of Christianity shall be overthrown, our present republic forms of government, and all the blessings which flow from them must fall with them." James Madison, the fourth president, March 4th, 1815, in his Thanksgiving Day proclamation, said, "No people ought to feel greater obligations to celebrate the goodness of the great disposer of events and of the destiny of nations than the people of the United States. His kind providence originally conducted them to one of the best portions of the dwelling place allotted for the great family of the human race. He protected and cherished them under all the difficulties and trials to which they were exposed in their early days. Under his fostering care, their habits, their sentiments, and their pursuits prepared them for a transition in due time to a state of independence and self-government." Then John Quincy Adams, who was the son of John Adams. John Quincy Adams was the sixth president. Some think he may have been the smartest president, but there's no way to know. But he was a brilliant man, the youngest diplomat ever appointed in America when he was 11 years of age. He knew all the founders. His father, John Adams, allowed him to accompany him to so many events and things. He knew the founders. He knew the founding. And John Quincy Adams in 1821, on July 4th, said, "The highest glory of the American Revolution was this: it connected in one indissoluble bond the principles of the civil government with the principles of Christianity. From the day of the Declaration, they, the American people, were bound by the laws of God, which they all, and by the laws of the gospel, which they nearly all acknowledged as the rules of their conduct." Noah Webster, 1833, said, quote, "The moral principles and precepts contained in the Scriptures ought to form the basis of all our civil constitutions and laws. All the miseries and evils which men suffer from vice, crime, ambition, injustice, oppression, slavery, and war proceed from their despising or neglecting the precepts contained in the Bible," unquote. Alexis de Tocqueville, 1835, says, "There is no country in the world where the Christian religion retains a greater influence over the souls of men than in America. And there can be no greater proof of its utility and of its conformity to human nature than that its influence is powerfully felt over the most enlightened and free nation of the earth." Again, John Quincy Adams, he was defeated in 1828 for a second term by Andrew Jackson. Then in 1830, He believed it was God's call for him to run for Congress, run for the House of Representatives after having been president. He was elected and served for 17 years in the House of Representatives, just down the hall in Statuary Hall. It was John Quincy Adams who was retained to represent the Africans who were aboard the Amistad in their case before the Supreme Court. Anthony Hopkins did a wonderful job of portraying John Quincy Adams in the movie Amistad, but I think in the movie his closing argument was around 10 to 12 minutes, whereas in real life it spilled into a third day. But John Quincy Adams, 1837, after he'd been in the House 6 years, he said, "Is it not that the Declaration of Independence first organized the social compact on the foundation of the Redeemer's mission upon earth, that it laid the cornerstone of human government upon the first precepts of Christianity?" And all of these people believed people in America will be able to worship the way they choose or do not choose, because the nation was founded upon Christian precepts that allowed that freedom as no other nation in the history of mankind. Andrew Jackson,